Hello, greetings, Mr. Ramirez. I hope you're doing well. In this opportunity, we are going to present a video explaining the topic of the role of phonology in conveying and decoding meaning. In order to clarify and analyze the topic in a better way, we have divided the information into 5 important parts. The members of these groups are going to talk about each one of them, and now I'm going to introduce the parts that the information is going to be divided. First, the definition of phonology, then phonology in conveying meaning, then phonology in decoding meaning, phonology and communication in language learning. Next, a very important part that is literature review of some previous investigation studies of this branch of linguistics. And first of all, I'm going to start defining what is phonology. Phonology is a branch of linguistics that studies pattern of speech sounds. The word phonology comes from the Greek word phone, which means voice sounds, and the suffix logy comes from the word logos, which means subjects of discussion. So phonology is the study of linguistic sound systems. Phonology is about sounds considered to be structured for conveying linguistic meaning. So in the context of speaking a language, this is very important because a language is only understood if spoken phonologically correct. Because of the theoretical status, phonology is concerned with the structural mental aspect of the sound in language rather than with the actual physical articulation of speech sounds. Phonology also investigate the multitative function of sound unit, that is the signaling of word and morpheme boundaries in the spoken chain. A final function of phonology units is to express the emotional state of the speaker and his attitude towards what is being said. Thank you. My partner is going to continue with the rest of the topic.
Hello, my name is Berenice Alvarenga. Well, I'm going to talk about the phonology conveying meaning. So, as my partner said, the phonology that sees and constructed relationship among a speech sound with quantitative fundamental component of the language is referred to the study the sound patterns and their meanings within and across languages. In this case, conveying meaning is referred it is the role of the speaker because it is the initiator communication of the delivering the messages. Well, the phonology are sound right, so in this is referred the conveying meaning. It is the foundation of effective communication. In this case, it is a good pronunciation because it is a fundamental skill that every speaker of the language should acquire in the conversational involved. In sum, phonology conveying meaning is so important because language with reference the types of context and each language are behavior that's unique with the reference the text and contents has human production because it is to comprehend in this case the phonology conveying meaning in whatever conversation because the role in this case it is the speaker.
Hello, my name is Karen Milgar and I'm going to speak about decoding meaning. First, I'm going to give you the concept of decoding, that is, the ability to apply your knowledge of letter-sound relationship, including knowledge of letter patterns to correctly pronounce writing words. Understanding this relationship gives children the ability to recognize familiar words quickly and to figure out words they haven't seen before. According to Siegel, in fact, in terms of phonology, the phonological decoding refers to decoding words or non-words by sounding them out, as when one is asked to decode the non-word plan. Poor readers even continue to struggle to read non-words after they have demonstrated knowledge of similar orthographic patterns in real words. One important component of decoding is the phonological awareness, which is the understanding of the sound structure and how words are composed of various sounds. Phonological includes the ability to segment sounds ring, and identify syllables. Principle of phonology can also be applied to treatments of speech pathologies and innovations in technology. In terms of speech, recognition system can be designed to translate spoken data into text. In this way, computers process the language like our brains do, the same process that occurs in the mind of a human when producing and receiving language occurs in machines. One example of machine decoding language is the popular intelligent system, Siri. If a message is not correctly conveyed, that artificial intelligence is not going to decode our message. The same happens with human communications due to the fact that phonology deals with the sound structure in individual language. The way distinctions in sound are used to differentiate linguistic idioms and the ways in which the sound structure of the same element varies as function of the other sound in its content. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I am Giovanni Lopez and let me to continue with the topic for today. In this short video, I'm going to tell you the most important thing that we need to know about this topic. The topic is the phonology, conveying and decoding meaning in the language learner. The first, the phonology according to Katamba is defined the way that the sounds are used correctly in the language to form words and utterance. This topic has two subtopics. The first is conveying meaning and decoding meaning. What happened when we linked this topic? We created the phonology, conveying and decoding meaning. What happened with the conveying meaning? In the conveying meaning is when someone is talking and try to give a message. This is a conveying meaning because the speaker tried to give a message in the correct way. What happened with the decoding meaning? In the decoding meaning, the listener tried to decode, try to decipher the message that the speaker say. And that is the reason why the phonology has a relationship between the phonology, because the speaker tried to give a message and the listeners tried to decode the meaning using the sound in different contexts. As a conclusion, it is important to keep in mind that the phonology is so important when we try to give a message or receive a message, or decoding or conveying the message.
So, hi, this is Delmi Paola Vázquez Hernández, and now I'm going to talk about phonology and communication. Well, this is so important because we could note a million of words, but if they aren't pronounced correctly, the person that is listening to us will not understand what is trying to be said. For this reason, it's really essential the phonology, and without correct use of phonology, communication is impossible. In the case of phonology, communication happens in the way of understanding and producing sounds, making one able enough to communicate message to others. And for this include speaking with accurate articulation. In other words, this means that communication and phonology are inseparable because accurate communication involves accurate articulation of sound in message delivery. In conclusion, it's necessary to be clear that we need phonology to convey in the correct way a message and don't have problems at the moment of communicate to someone. And however, since communication involves speaking and phonology is about speaking with accurate articulations, and phonology is relevant for communication. This is all my participation, and my classmates continue talking about the topic. Thank you.
Hello there, I am Diana Catherine Martinez, and today I want to share some information about what we included in our literature review. First of all, we wanted to add information about phonology, what phonology is and what it is used for. Then we wanted to add information about phonology in conveying as well as in decoding meaning. In regards to phonology in decoding meaning, we found that it deals with comprehension. In this case, with the comprehension of sounds produced by a speaker. Then, in regards to phonology in conveying meaning, we found that it is about the correct production of sounds, so listeners can grasp what we really want to say. Then we wanted to include information about phonology in communication, and we found that it is essential in the matter of the production as well as the comprehension of sounds, that is, to convey and to decode messages because of the sounds. Then we wanted to include information about phonology in language learning, and in that part we found that it is crucial for communication in a language that is being learned because of the correct pronunciation and production of sounds. So this has been everything I wanted to share about our literature review, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Chicas, and I would like to end up with our conclusion in this research. And we have arrived to the point that the role of phonology in conveying and also decoding a meaning is something truly important. There are many reasons why phonology takes its relevance. As mentioned before, phonology is the branch of linguistics that studies sound patterns in a language, which means that it is completely included in different processes such as encoding and decoding. By analyzing the information, we have got that the process of encoding needs to be performed in a good way. How come? Well, phonology helps us to identify how the organization and sound patterns are used by giving them a meaning. Every single person needs to acquire enough knowledge in order to produce sounds correctly. With that said, phonology takes place when someone is going to provide a message, since it is necessary to select, group up, and produce a set of sounds in a correct order so that a message can be conveyed. On the other hand, the process of decoding a message is also important, and it cannot be done without a good understanding and recognition of sounds. It means that everyone needs to be capable of decoding a message properly in order to get the information provided by the speaker. So, there's no way to omit what phonology offers in a language, since it is essential in both sides, conveying a meaning but also to decode a meaning.